Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from any part of the world you are watching from. This is Aishatu, Haruna, Auntie I. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the likes. But you can still do more for your girl. Today, still on teenagers, we'll be talking about some characters our teenagers exhibit. Yeah, sometimes our teenagers exhibit some characters that are good and some that are bad. I'll be talking about the bad ones. Now, as a mother or as a father, you have to help your child or your teenagers in certain ways. For instance, most teenagers, you see them going into stealing. It's not their wish to steal. It's not their wish to go into that, because stealing is a very, 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 very bad habit. As a mother or as a father, when your child is young, when he is so young, you have to make that child know that it's not everything you buy for him or her. It's not everything you give to them as children. Not everything you give to them. When a child comes to you, I want sweet, you buy. I want chocolate, you buy. I want biscuit, you buy. It's not everything you buy for a child, because it will get to a stage whereby that child will no longer see that thing to eat, and you find that child will start stealing money to go and buy. And some parents, they are fond of giving their children money to school every day. Money, money, money. As a mother, I believe in something. When you have a child or you have kids, all you need to do, dedicate your time to always cook for them. Make breakfast, make lunch, and make dinner for them. With that, you will avoid giving them money to buy things in the school. Most parents give their kids money. Take for your lunch, take for your dinner, take for your breakfast, for your snacks. No, it's a no to me. I know all fingers are not equal. But as parents, let's try to prepare food for these kids. Let's try to make things for them. Not giving them money all the time to take to school, to spend. You know, it will come to a stage where you will not be able to give them that money, and you find out the child stealing, which is not good. Please, let's try to help our children and teenagers to avoid such things. I'm not saying you should not give them money, but it has a stage, a certain stage you have to give it to them. There was this girl I know those days. She likes Titus fish a lot, so the mother always give her money. She goes to buy the canned one, and before you knew what was happening, she started stealing from people's shop. So let's try to avoid that. Also, most people say my teenager always fights. My teenagers always fight. Charity begins at home. That saying goes a long way. When both parents at home keep on fighting all the time, keep on quarreling all the time, you find out that your child, as the child is growing up, the child will always want to do such thing. And the child will say, after all, my parents fight at home. Please, as parents, when we are having misunderstanding, let's try to avoid the kids being there at that particular time. Let's try to keep them away from that. Yeah, most parents do have issues. They have fights, they have quarrel, but not in the presence of your child. You find that when you do that in the presence of your child, as the child grows up, the child will always want to do that, because the child sees it as a normal thing. The child sees it as what everybody can do. So let's try to always avoid that. And also, some parents always complain, my child talks a lot, my child gossip a lot. You as parents, you have to do your workings on the child, do your findings, work on that child. When you see a child who is growing up and talks a lot, try to do something. Try to make that child engage in educational things concerning quiz, concerning debates. Things that can help the child in future. Not that when you as a mother, a friend comes to you and all you do is gossip. When your child begins to grow up, you find that your child will do the same. So let's try to avoid such a thing, and let's avoid talking about people in the presence of our teenagers. Let's avoid it. Because most of the times when parents are talking, maybe a friend comes and you start talking, and you see your child, a child of 5 years, a child of 10 years, we just come inside. Yes, so it's true. Mommy this, mommy that. Oh my God, you have to scold such a child, because if you don't, the child will keep on doing that. When adults are talking, you see the child also talking. So as parents, there are lots of things. Above all, let's try to pray. Let's try to introduce our children and teenagers to God. Let's make them see reasons that lying is not good. When you lie, it brings damages. When you steal, it brings damages. If you go to a lot of rehabilitation center where children and teenagers are being kept, you find out a lot of them, it wasn't their doings to go into this act, but the way they were brought up. And when they are when they are growing up, they find out that a lot of things to them, it's normal. But it's not normal. As parents, we have to sit them down. We have to talk to them. We have to make them know that this thing is bad, this thing is bad, you don't do it. And most of the times you see some people say, my child is always quiet, she's too timid. You have to help such a child. Quiet children, you have to help them, because when they are always quiet, you find out bullies always come to them to bully them. So you have to make them know that this is your right. This is what you can do. You have to protect yourself. You have to stand for yourself. You have to speak out for yourself. So as parents, please, let's try to put our children in the right track. I know it isn't easy. It's not easy. But with the help of God, you can do all things. So as parents, let's try this bad habit to find out from your kids. Let's try to make them stop it. You find out some children like picking their fingers. They'll be picking their fingers, I don't know. You have to start that as a parent when they are young. You have to tell them, don't do that, bad habit. Don't do that, bad habit. Or when you find out some children playing a lot with sharp objects, you have to make them know this object is sharp. For instance, knife is not good. Don't play with knife. Don't play with needles. You make them know so that as they grow up, they will not be able to use that against their child. You find out a lot of children is in a lot of situations, a lot of bad environment. Because of what? And you as parents will say, and I trained that way, I trained him well. No, you have to do the right thing as parents. Talk to them, sit them down, pray for them, introduce them to the things of God, introduce them to the things that can help them in future. Not that when your kids are following bad friends, you keep on looking at them. How can children be running away from their home? Teenagers be running away at the age of 10, 12. Where are they running to? You as parents, you need to tell them. I know of a girl. She said, oh my God, my parents don't like me. My mommy always beat me. My daddy always beat me. And she went to the toilet. She took something to drink, which is poisonous, which can kill. And thank God somebody came there and the person collected it from her and told her parents. That was how the mother hugged her. The mother said, I will never do this to you, but I have to talk to you as a mother. This thing you are doing, don't do it anymore. Yes, because most teenagers, they go into suicide because of such things. They will feel offended. They will feel embarrassed that my parents are doing this to me. How am I sure they are the one that gave birth to me? How am I sure he gave birth to me? How am I sure she gave birth to me? Please, let's try to love those children. Let's show them love. And let's try to make them know things that are bad and things that are good, not siding the bad things at all times. Let's make them know that this thing is bad, this thing is good, this is white, this is black. Please, as parents, let's try to help our children grow, to be greater people, to be more famous in the world. Let's make them grow. During summer times, you can put them in dance group, dance class, music class, singing, a lot of things, acting. You can put them in a lot of things to engage them, not to be at home doing things they are not supposed to do. So right now, I hope my parents, you've learned some things that you can use for our teenagers. Please, let's try to love them. Let's make them know the good from the bad. Let's talk to them. If they are doing things that are wrong, let's try to put them right. Not all the time insulting your child, insulting your children. Not all the time. Some parents, whatever comes out of their mouth is insult. And before you know, when the child grows up, the child starts insulting everybody around. Please, let's try to say good things like bless you, thank you, good child, good children, faithful child, blessed child. Let's pray for them. Let's bless them. And with all this, our teenagers will have a brighter future. Thank you so much for watching. Keep subscribing. Love you all. Thank you.